Hello, we're on Bering 82. I'll give you a little of story of this boat. It was probably many of you knows that initially it was Bering 75. When we conceived it with Rika and Victoria, initially it was a bit smaller boat. It was inspired by our custom boat Bering 76, which is a bit narrower and have a different architecture. But when we sit down and start to develop this project, it grew. And its beam get increased, LOA, and of course configuration. And now it's tri-decker. It's much larger than it was initially designed. Everything changed, machinery changed, the size of generator changed, the system get beefier. This boat is now Bering 82. We are on the main deck, and let me tell you a little bit about overall configuration of this boat. And this boat is designed for charter. This particular boat is designed for charter operation. Configuration is rather unusual. All of the way forward, right behind me, is a crew quarters. It's a comfortable space for a crew of 2, and it's laundry facility here, some storage. So this whole area, the full beam area, belongs to the crew. They accessing to the companionway, which you can enter the galley from and go outside. So the galley is rather spacious, full of storage equipment. And it's a double door which you can open and kind of join this area with a salon, and you can totally separate it. We have a day head on this deck. We have a nice dining table for 10 people and nice seating area, couches on each side, very tall windows and lots of air. You see the headroom here. As you can see on the ceiling, it's a lot of ventilation, cables, piping going. Will be all covered, but very accessible. So all the ceiling panels you can easily remove and have access to everything you need here. And this is hole number 1. And in hole number 1, you're making 1,000 decisions, how you set up this, how you set up that. And this has virtually become a custom boat because it's specifically aimed for charter operation, and second, it's have a lot of options and a lot of small details which belongs only to this boat. For example, it's going to be outstanding acoustical system made by KRA. So I didn't build so far the boat with such a complex and such a high-tech, hi-fi acoustic system. Also, this boat is laid out that it's very convenient for the guests and for the crew working, because the couple who own this boat actually, are going to be a part of the crew. So, and they will locate it at the upper level. Instead of the sky lounge there, they have a stateroom, which is very nice, could be considered a muster because it's lots of windows, it's very open, but it's next to the pilot house. It's very convenient when you're piloting the boat and you're captain, you have your bed next to the pilot house. It's very important for the charter boat, for the boat with the crew. Usually captain's quarter is right next to the pilot house. We have on the lower deck, we have 4 nice staterooms. We're gonna go there now. Now we're in the lower deck, and it's a master cabin. You see how spacious it is. It's real good cabin with a large panoramic windows. It's going to be walk-in closet, nice head, and you have a chance to see all the piping. All piping is rigid like on all our boats. It's already insulated. You can see the penetrations through the bulkhead. Behind me is the engine room. So all the penetration is sealed and acoustic insulation is already in place. on both sides. So this room will be as quiet as any other room on this boat. And we can see a lot of piping and a lot of cables, and all of them green. We have frequently asked question, how do you guys sorting it out? They're all green, they're all the same color. The thing is, it's just a cover. First of all of these cables are class certified, despite that this is a CE boat. This is a pleasure boat under the CE regulation. However, it's built very different than your average CE boat. So the cables are all green. They may be some different color, but all uniform color. However, the wires inside, because the marine cables, unlike land cables, they're double insulated. So they have a very good insulation, what you see green, and then inside each wire have its own insulation. So, and they are colored, and some of the wires have 2 pairs, 3, 4, 5, 7 wires, whatever, it depends on the thickness and the purpose and the gauge of the wires. However, you don't kind of like trying to see what is going where, because in the junction box, they all label. And you know exactly what this cable doing, where it's going, and where you can find it on the other end. Of course, it's in electrical diagrams, and it's also visible when you get to the junction box. You can see labels, and you can easily read in manual, which is an electronic format as well, what this particular wire about. And you don't care about what the casing is, green, black, red, so it's irrelevant. Everything is labeled. This vessel have a CE certification. However, you can see it's built much more robustly. You can see the stainless steel piping everywhere, all the rigid piping. It's built to comply with M&G 280 requirements. It's a red ensign flag requirements for commercial use. This boat is built on much more tough base than the requirements that CE, and that's what we built. This boat is ready for sub-interior installation right now. So you can see the flooring is made for installation of the subfloor. This structure there, we have this Silamer green substance, which is make it soft, and box-in-box interior technology. So we have a soft suspension of the ceiling, same with the walls. I think next video you will see that this boat will have some sub-interiors and some interiors which are made separately. In our shop with a lot of CNC machines, all the furniture now made on CNC machines, and it's built and assembled outside, and then when everything is perfected, the interior is moving in. The furniture manufacturing is the lengthiest process of all boat build processes. So it takes about from 9 to 12 months just for the interiors. And again, they all made outside. We do not build interiors inside of the boat. Interiors just moved in. So the next stage is going to be sub-interiors and then the installation of the furniture. I'm at the entrance of forward stateroom. You can see this is the watertight bulkhead with a frame for watertight door welded in. And this room have some storage space underneath because all the tanks are consolidated in the mid part of the boat for the correct trim. And this is the free area. Here's the access for your bow thruster. It's a nice room. You see, it's a lot of space under the floor here, and it will be used as a storage and also as an access to the bow thruster. So you don't need to access it frequently, but if something you need to do there, it's very accessible. Lots of piping running in the ceiling, and you see how complex things here as well. Now we are in a middle compartment between the master and forward room, so it's two more staterooms here. Like I said, this is a semi-custom version of the Bering 82. We have a master up where the sky lounge should be, and here it's VIP 4 and 3 guest rooms. And speaking of the bulkheads, we have the forward bulkhead, which separates the collision compartment from the forward room, then another bulkhead. Then number 3, number 4, it's a bulkhead of the engine room, which have no penetration except for cables and piping, which is sealed. I mean, it's no door from here to the engine room. And then we have a lazarette, which is also watertight compartment. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 watertight compartments, true watertight compartments on this boat. We have a lot of questions about propellers, shafts, rudders. Let me cover it here all at once. First, you can see our signature sketch, protecting props and rudder, protecting it from ground and from floating objects. It's most likely going to deflect. These props are counter-rotating. And again, I want to demonstrate you. This prop already attached to the gearbox. It's so free, we have no resistance. We're saving about 5% of efficiency right here by using special shafting system. The question about counter-rotation and how it's achieved. The counter-rotation is very important. We cannot have both props rotating the same direction because the boat will start to walk sideways. They must be counter-rotating. And it's not really a big difference which direction they rotate, inwards or outwards. And the question was, is it the engine going like left and right engine? No, it's all done in a gearbox. It's a gearbox, one of the gearbox is on reverse mode. The forward means reverse. That's what makes it counter-rotating. For the gearbox, it doesn't matter. It's worked the same, forward or aft. Sometimes it just creates a little bit of difference in the temperature, few degrees, sometimes not. That's pretty much it. So that the props have to be counter-rotating inwards or outwards. However, the engines are identical, gearboxes are identical. One of the gearboxes is in reverse mode. That's it. We have quite often we have questions about welding. First of all marine crafts, the welding have to be double-sided. So we're welding from inside, and then you make a bevel and welding from outside. So it's a double weld from two sides. Welds are thoroughly checked by X-ray and ultrasound. Usually about 30 to 35% welds get checked. If it's any problems, the more welds gonna get checked. Maybe it's a systematic problem. However, all the welders have to be certified by class. So we don't have any welders who are not certified by class, and it's a high level of welding. And we make sure that all our welders who do the weld, not assemblers, but welders who do the weld seam are certified people. On the class boats, it's checked by class as well as internal check, and also class is checking it. And of course, we have to submit to CE or any class society all the X-ray files, ultrasound files, and this is a must. The welds are very, very, very important. We're in the cockpit now. You see again, the headroom is outstanding. Very spacious cockpit, very nice mooring arrangement, 2 bollards on each side, the capstan, and a nice large settee with a table here. From here, you can see probably 15 meters of space. So the boat gives you impression of very large, very spacious, Together with the tall ceilings, it gives you ample room ambience. It is very nice sidewalk leading to the very, very large forward seating area. We don't have a flybridge on this model. The role of the flybridge is playing this spacious bow area. It's covered with the soft awnings. It's have a nice 2 settees, and also I like this feature about boat very, very much. It's a forward-looking settee, so you can sit here in privacy. Here's gonna be a little petition, kind of dark glass to protect you from the wind. And here is a forward-facing settee. And this is small working area with the 2 windlasses of enormous size. I can see it under the covers, they are large. You can see how vast this area is. You will not miss the flybridge on this boat. You can see the sockets for the poles here and forward. So this whole area is protected from the sun. Very, very, very large. Storage inside for all your lines, for everything you need. And of course, fenders we can store in the chain locker. We're in the pilot house. Again, it's nice and very spacious. And here's the petition. When we enter this upper deck, we have a small companionway, and then we can enter this area, which is, in our case, it's a master/captain quarter. In standard layout, this is a sky lounge. You can join and separate with the high-low petition. You can actually watch from the sky lounge and control all the system, and you can see forward. I think it's a good area up here, very good area and versatile area. Again, you can make a sky lounge here, you can make a stateroom here. It's all up to you. We enter out on the boat deck. It's a crane dinghy here, but when dinghy is launched, it's also an entertainment area. It's also covered with the awnings, so we have a sockets in each corner. The forward area with a lot of seating arrangement and sunbeds, and this area will made it up for the missing flybridge. This boat have hydraulic 4-fin stabilization system. We using 4-fin stabilization even on the boat under 24 meters for better performance, for not to steer the boat but stabilize the boat. For redundancy, it's 2 independent couple of fins. They work separately. If one fin, something happened to one fin, the rest of them will perform. Fairing. It was a frequently asked questions about fairing. So this boat is built as a super yacht. So all the welding seams, all the metal parts are covered with the layers and layers of coatings. So it's a primers, another primers, it's several layers of fairing, and at some places fairing are quite thick, and some places it's thinner, but average is about 5 to 7 millimeters of fairing throughout the boat, so it looks like sculptured, absolutely seamless. Look like maybe fiberglass boat if you want this similarity, but yes, it's fully faired, and it's a protective layers which encapsulate the steel and prevent it from rusting and from deterioration. We just finished our brief walk through this boat at very interesting stage. It's ready for interior installation. It's ready for finishing and outfitting the decks. I think this boat is coming out very, very nice. So many decisions was made, so many hours, hundreds of hours spent together with Rika and Victoria in designing and perfecting every corner of this boat, every little feature of this boat, every option we choose for this boat. It's a true marvel, and it's going to be absolutely stunning boat. We're proud of this whole #1 Bering 82.